Hey, what's up guys? Ken here for the Retro Toy Escapades channel in Malaysia. Now I'm continuing my look at MOTU Origins Wave 7, and up for review today is Jitsu. Interestingly, I read online that the producers of the original Masters of the Universe cartoon limited the use of Jitsu on the show because they were afraid that he would be seen as a racial stereotype simply because he's Asian and does martial arts. Still, I was just thinking that martial arts is an awesome and even life-saving skill. So, is a stereotype harmful or capable of causing offense if it's for something that's awesome? Anyway, I'm really looking forward to checking out his updated action figure for the Origins line. So let's get to it, shall we? Jitsu, the evil master of martial arts. Now, what's unique about this wave is that we have 3 heroes and Jitsu is the sole villain. In the last 3 waves, it's been the reverse. We've had 3 villains and only a single hero per wave. What can I say? MOTU has got more interesting villains and we still need the Snake Man. Also, I didn't mention it in the review for Buzz-Off, but the cards now say new for 2022. That's right, we're already done with a whole year, and this is in fact a figure that's meant for next year. Where does the time go? Back at the card, and the instructions show you how to place Jitsu's sword accessory in his hand in case you couldn't figure it out. It also has the dreaded statement, twist body to powerful battle positions. Basically, the toy doesn't have any outstanding gimmicks or features, you just have to use your creativity. And yes, just like Fisto, there's no sign of the spring-loaded karate chopping right hand feature that the original came with. I mean, I expected this, but it still sucks. The description for Jitsu reads, ever searching for an opponent who can match him in combat, Jitsu channels dark energies to enhance his fighting power. Whoa. Does this mean that Jitsu's massive destructive golden right hand is being fueled by something mystical? Perhaps. Now this action shot here is just fantastic. Jitsu throwing it down with He-Man in an exotic location with a scary looking face, embedded into the mountain base behind him. And we also have Skeletor here looking around the background like he's a fight promoter. And just above He-Man, right in the background there, we see flying high in the sky, Cyclone. Now is he gonna help them? No, I suggest that he just stays out of this fight, okay? Just leave them to it. Jitsu versus He-Man. All bets are off. Yeah! Here's the instruction guide for Jitsu, and it kind of cracked me up because it sort of looks like he's about to start shouting. Better run away, guys. Interestingly, it shows you that the right hand is not removable, but I guess we're gonna try anyway. Okay. Okay, and here he is, friends. Jitsu out of the package and glaring straight at the enemy, ready to face all 3 heroes in this wave. I just love this stance of his here. Okay, it's like, bring them on, bring them all on, bring your whole crew. You know what? If Jitsu's giant golden arm won't kill you, then his stare just might. I mean, Jitsu has an expression that is just seething with contempt here. Maybe too much contempt? I remember the sculpt on the vintage figure had him sort of like sneering with distaste, but this one has him sort of like just, really boiling with rage. And those eyes, man, actually, are the eyes crooked? Because, this eye here seems to be staring off slightly. It's not really quite dead on. But hey, he still looks deadly, okay? Even his forehead looks deadly, all right? The receding hairline, deadly as well. Yeah, the face sculpt is, it's a pretty good update. I wasn't sure at first if something seemed a bit off, okay? But it's good, okay? What do you guys think of the sculpt overall? Let me know. Jitsu's armor looks fantastic and it's got a lot of really great detail to it. The gold and the red colors blend together very well. Actually, these are very oriental colors, okay? So I kind of wonder if anybody's gonna think that this is stereotypical. Okay, anyway, this whole thing has got a very regal feel to it, okay? Now this is actually the first time that this armor is making an appearance in Origins, but we are used to seeing this design, of course, from Jitsu's vintage look. And this armor will also be used with the figure for King Randor whenever they get around to doing him, because both Randor and Jitsu share the same body armor. Okay, just doing a quick joint check. The joints all work well. Everything feels tight enough, and that's great, especially when you're dealing with a figure that's supposed to have maximum posability. Also, Jitsu is a strictly human figure, so he has human feet. Okay, he's not a humanoid or anything like that. There's really only so few humans in the Masters of the Universe toy line. I actually feel that the human figures seem probably less appealing to casual buyers at retail. What do you guys think? Let me know. Jitsu's one accessory is this very long sword. Okay, it's a long orange sword that looks like you could cut a person clean in half. Now the sword will only fit in Jitsu's left hand, because that's the only gripping hand that he's got. The thing about this sword is that I always felt that it just looked very plain. It's obviously inspired and designed from the same long orange sword that Jitsu used with his vintage figure, but yeah, there's not really anything distinguishing about it. Doesn't have any unique patterns to it. It's just a really long looking orange colored sword. But once you've got him on Jitsu, it really does add to his overall imposing and deadly appearance. Okay, this is just definitely not a guy that you want to mess with. Okay, so just stay away, guys. Stay clear away. Okay guys, now it's time to check out Jitsu's massive instrument of destruction, the golden right hand of doom. You know what, this thing is huge, okay? It's way bigger than what the vintage figure had, and it's fantastic to see vac metal, alright, gold chrome on an Origins figure. I think this thing just looks amazing, alright? Of course, it doesn't have the spring-loaded arm attack action, but you can operate it manually. That's right, okay? You can bring his hand down on the enemy manually to destroy them. Fantastic, okay? I love the way that this thing turned out. There are a number of things that you could do with such a massive right hand. Imagine what a slap from something like this would do. Okay, you just take somebody's head clear off, right? You can also have him sort of like reaching his palm out like that, and forcing people to give him things. Yeah, that's right. Give me all your money, fool, or face your end. You could also have him sort of like in a propositioning pose. Yeah, that's right. Join me, and we will form the ultimate fighting force. Join me or be destroyed. Or maybe, he's just having a good day and he could just be, lifting up his hand and saying, "Hi, hey, Jitsu, high five, man." Now let's see if we can get this thing taken off his arm here. Let's try it. Let's just give it a shot, okay? Let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Ah. What do you know? It does come off, okay? Look at that. However, there isn't a peg attached to the hand, so I don't really think you can actually attach it to anything else in the line. But you're sort of left with he's basically handless like a character in a Star Wars movie. Now let's check out a comparison with the vintage Jitsu figure from 1983. As you can see, the head sculpts have a different expression. They're both snarling, but the vintage one I feel has a more subdued look. The vintage one is like staring at the enemy and going, "Ew." The expression on the updated Origins figure is more like, "Ew." The eyes are also different on both figures. You can clearly see the pupils on the new figure, while on the vintage figure, they're more narrowed and closed. Hey, did they revise this to avoid another Oriental stereotype? Okay, doing a comparison here on the armor for both figures, and I can't remember if the colors for the armor on the vintage Jitsu was this faded when it was originally released. It sure looks a bit faded here, but I checked out some pictures online, and it definitely had a more weathered look all along. The armor on the Origins figure is far more brighter, as is the trend with all the new updated figures. Well, I like both versions, and the vintage one actually looks like he's gone through years of conflict and battle. Over at the bottom, the boots have a different color tone as well. We see here that the Origins one is gold, while the vintage one is dark brown. Or maybe the colors faded through the years. Over on the Origins figure here, the left arm has a gold-colored armored gauntlet, while for the vintage figure, you see that the gauntlet is there, but it's of a different shape and it's unpainted. Comparing the swords between the two of them, well, both of them are long and orange and have the same curved design, but you can see that the vintage sword hilt has a handle to it. Most of the vintage swords had these to help you fit it around their hands, but the quality on these was pretty poor, remember, and most of the handles would just break, okay? Which one do you guys prefer, personally? Now, comparing the right hands, you can see that the new Origins hand is just ultra massive. You know, the vintage hand is almost puny by comparison. It's like the vintage one could break a table in half, but the new Origins version could level a mountain. Also, the gold paint on the new hand is super bright and shiny, alright? But in some ways, the vintage hand kind of looks more realistic and practical. You know, what do you guys think? Of course, the vintage hand is also paired with another really cool feature, which is the spring-loaded karate chop. That's right, okay? Let me show you how you do a hiya! Hiya! My right hand is bigger than yours. You are nothing more than a silly imposter, and it is time to meet your end. Hiya! Yeah! Yeah! Die! 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 Ah, die! 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 Okay guys, so that's my look at the MOTU Origins Wave 7 Jitsu figure. Overall, a fantastic addition to the ever-growing army of Masters of the Universe villains. So let me know what you think of him. Let me know what you think of the video in the comment section below. And of course, do leave me a like if you enjoyed the content, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch all of you guys again real soon.